Emiel, Regis, Rohellec, Terzieff-Godefroy. Geralt chased Sir Milton's murderer with mad intensity. How this chase ended stands as clear witness to the fact Geralt was facing a highly dangerous foe. The killer led Geralt to an old warehouse where it set a trap for him. A fight ensued, and at a crucial moment Geralt was saved by Regis, a higher vampire and old friend. Here I must explain that years ago, Regis had joined Geralt's band of fellow travelers, of which I was a proud part, and set off with us in search of Ciri. Together we lived through many fascinating adventures, and Regis proved himself a loyal friend, the kind you can trust with your life. Sadly, the expedition ended tragically for Regis. He was killed by Vilgefortz, who reduced him to nothing more than a wet stain. Hence the Witcher's immense surprise at encountering his old friend. After all, he had seen Regis die with his own eyes. But the thing is, that was not Regis's final death, nor even his first. As a young man, Regis had been a bit of a free spirit and overindulged in the drinking of blood. This lifestyle led to him being butchered by angry villagers. Regenerating from that took him 50 years, or nearly no time at all for an immortal. When he was back in full health, he kicked the habit of blood drinking for good. For years, we'd all thought he was gone forever. Yet there he was, standing in front of Geralt in that dockside warehouse. Regis explained he had regenerated and come to Tesham to find Detlef, a friend. Such were the dramatic circumstances bringing Regis and Geralt together again in Beauclair. They did not have long to enjoy their reunion, however. They could hear others approaching, and Regis, not wanting to risk an encounter with angry humans, agreed to meet back up with Geralt at the cemetery, where he had made an altogether comfortable temporary home for himself. Geralt found Mère la Chaiselongue cemetery and the crypt where Regis not only lived, but had also managed to set up a well-equipped alchemist's workshop. They began to confer. Regis explained he believed his friend had become implicated in some serious trouble. When they figured out they had overlapping goals, they decided to join forces and together seek out the vampire Detlef, better known in the duchy as the Beast of Beauclair. Geralt also learned how it was Regis had returned to the world of the living. He had been helped by none other than the very one they sought, Detlef. In light of this, Regis insisted they find a peaceful solution to the Detlef problem. Geralt and Regis decided that an aid was needed to find Detlef, a certain potion called resonance. To brew it, Regis needed some bodily tissue from the object of their pursuit. Luckily, Geralt had earlier found a dismembered hand belonging to the murderer. Another ingredient needed to brew resonance was saliva, or salivary glands, from a spotted wight. Having discovered that one such creature resided nearby, Regis sent the Witcher to hunt it down. Geralt's encounter with the wight left him with the ingredient Regis needed to brew resonance. Once he'd delivered, however, he learned there was still one thing missing: the blood of a higher vampire. Geralt thought this would prove no trouble, until Regis explained only the blood of a vampire in a highly aggravated state would do. They thus would need to invoke maddening bloodlust in Regis, who had abstained from that vampiric vice for years. Regis brought Geralt to Tesham Mutna. This grim place had been used by vampires ages ago to raise humans like cattle. Geralt later said even the air in that place smelled of pain and fear. Regis could not vouch for how he would handle the upcoming ordeal, and had Geralt lock him in a hanging cage from which he was to watch as Geralt butchered. Having placed bait to lure out monsters, Geralt began his slaughter. Blood flowed at Tesham Mutna once again, and Regis nearly went mad with desire. In the end, the two friends came to possess the blood of a higher vampire in a state of aroused fury. Geralt imbibed the resonance potion Regis had prepared, allowing him to see a fragment of the day Detlef had committed his most recent murder. The trail led the friends to the shuttered-up toy shop where Terzieff had been staying. Sadly, our heroes did not find Terzieff at home. They did not leave empty-handed, however. After searching the shop, Geralt found a letter which revealed Terzieff was being blackmailed. The blackmailers had kidnapped his lover, Renowed, and threatened to torture her if he did not do as they said. Thus, Terzieff had killed the targets they designated. After a short consultation, Geralt and Regis decided to split up. Regis was to wait for Terzieff, while Geralt would go to Anna Henrietta and report on the investigation's progress. In their pursuit of the blackmailers, Geralt and Anna Henrietta found themselves at a private residence used for meetings of the Mandragora, an exclusive club for the Bohème of Toussaint. The residence's owner turned out to be a woman named Oriana. To the Witcher's great displeasure, later that evening they were joined by Regis in the company of Terzieff. In the conversation that ensued, Geralt gathered Regis and Oriana were old friends. The entire conversation had a rather surreal nature, seeing as how the Duchess had no idea she was speaking to the dreaded beast himself. Its key outcome was the conclusion that the blackmailers were holding Terzieff's lover at a place known as Duntine. Geralt pulled Regis aside, and they conferred briefly. Geralt was firmly against revealing this information to Terzieff. To his thinking, this could lead to serious trouble. I must say I agree with the Witcher's reasoning. When a higher vampire loses his self-control, trouble always ensues. Bloody trouble. Geralt went to Duntine alone, leaving Regis behind to watch Terzieff. Or, such was the plan. But life has a habit of making a mockery of men's plans. The vampires kept tabs on Geralt's progress through the use of avian allies, and thus were there the instant he found himself in dire straits. They reacted at once. Soon, Duntine was drenched in blood. Regis helped Geralt gain an audience with the mysterious vampire known as the Unseen Elder. Thanks to this elder's help, Geralt and Regis found the place where Terzieff had been hiding. Events then unfolded at a rapid pace. Terzieff flew into a rage and a fight ensued. Geralt managed to defeat him in a bloody battle, but a higher vampire can only be truly killed by one of his brethren. This was perhaps the most difficult decision Regis had ever faced in his life. He killed his friend, having decided Terzieff's failure to adapt to this world was a burden his friend could no longer bear.